Hello, I'm Nick. I'm here with UCW Zero and ACW Wrestling Superstar Junior X. Please introduce yourself to those who don't know you.
I'm the Rockstar Junior X, and I wrestle for both promotions here in Salt Lake City, Utah, ACW and UCW Zero.
So how long have you been wrestling?
I've been wrestling professionally now for about 4 years. I first got into this business by doing backyard wrestling with a couple of buddies, you know. And then from there, I met this guy named James Benton, better known as JMB, Jeff Matthew Bryant. He introduced me to, he actually got me into the wrestling business, and he at the time wrestled for UCW Zero, and he just asked me if I wanted to come to a practice, and I'm like, sure, yeah, I'll come check it out. And so I went there and started wrestling, and now I'm here. I've just been wrestling ever since.
So at the time you went to your first practice session, you were already doing the quote-unquote backyard thing, right?
Well, yeah, I was doing backyard wrestling, you know, just because I didn't want to necessarily give it up, you know, because it was still fun to do. But once I got more and more, serious into the, the professional wrestling, I just finally just let it go, you know, because it's garbage, you know, I guess you could say. No offense to you backyard wrestlers. Actually, no, screw it. Backyard wrestling is garbage, and professional wrestling is, just more of a, I don't know. But, yeah, so, when I went to my first training over at UCW Zero, let's just say that after I took my first couple bumps, I didn't know if I wanted to do it anymore, because it hurt like hell. I was just like, damn, do I really want to do this? But when I saw the ring, when I first pulled up there, I was like, oh my god, that's a wrestling ring. I was just so excited. I was like, from trampolines to wrestling rings, you know, there's just a big difference, and, I don't know,
So it kind of leads me to my next question. What about wrestling do you enjoy? Why do you do what you do?
That's a good question. I remember I was asked that by a good friend of mine and a pretty big superstar, Navajo Warrior. He was at one of our training practices, and he asked me, and some of the other guys, he's like, so what made you want to do this, you know? And when it came to me, I was like, I love everything that comes into it. I love entertaining people. I love to hear the pops. I love to hear the fans, reaction. I think that's what gets me the most. Just the athleticism, I'm sure everybody says the exact same thing, they love everything that goes into it and blah, blah, blah. But really, that's really what they love about it, everything, from the, from backstage to coming out and doing your thing, living your character, putting on a damn good show for the fans, that's just something that you love. And I will never forget the first time I had my very first show. It was a Royal Rumble, and I felt like I was going to pass out. I had the worst butterflies in my stomach, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so scared. And it was just the best feeling ever, and I will never forget that feeling.
Yeah, that makes sense. So do you still feel that way at the beginning of every show? Do you?
Yeah, you never get, I wouldn't say you ever get over it. It's always there. You just, always get that adrenaline going through, you always get pumped up, and at every show, it's like, some shows there's less people, some shows there's just hundreds of people, sometimes thousands, and I just, you have that feeling, but you'll never ever forget the very first time you walk through those curtains.
So every wrestler out there has other professional wrestlers they look up to, that they admire, and perhaps had it not been for those certain wrestlers, wouldn't have entered the business themselves. Who do you look up to?
Nowadays, or when I first started watching wrestling?
You could actually talk about both if you'd like.
When I first started getting into wrestling, I was a very, very big fan of The Rock. His character and, just how he'd get the fans, his mic skills were amazing, and just, The Rock would always get me, into the show and wanting to watch it more and more. And then after The Rock, he kind of took a break from wrestling, you know, and went and did his movie thing. It was just cool. I really got into the Hardy Boys. I really got into Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy was just, that guy's insane, you know. Just I was like, I want to do that, what he does, you know, and just the Hardy Boys at the time, that was like the thing of tag teams, you know, back in the Federation days. And then Jeff Hardy left WWE, and then nowadays I guess you could say Shannon Moore and CM Punk, you know, those two. Just because I really admire CM Punk. Not only is he a hell of an athlete, but he I really admired the fact that he's, you know, straight edge. That's pretty cool, you know. Not too many people like can be where he's at, I guess you could say, you know.
Yeah.
And still actually claim it, you know. I think that's badass. And as far as Shannon Moore goes, when I first saw him and he actually started doing his own thing, you know, becoming the Prince of Punk, Shannon Moore, or the Reject, I thought that his character was just, I thought that was him right there, you know. I thought, you know, WWE could have done something amazing with him, you know, but I don't know. I don't know, just there's something about those two. I guess it's just CM Punk with the whole straight edge thing. I think that's badass. And then as for Shannon Moore goes, just his whole look, you know, he has an amazing physique, and his gear is awesome. Like, his gear is what gets me. It's just, yeah. I guess you can, you know, say mine's similar to his, pretty much.
Understandably. So we're kind of running out of time here as far as the YouTube time constraint goes. No big deal. We can always do more. In closing, do you have any advice for people that want to break into the business themselves?
Don't let anybody ever tell you can't do it, because you can. It's time consuming, you know, you have to work your ass off. You know, just follow your dreams. I know that's kind of cheesy, but it's true, you know. If I could do it, you know, when I first, like I said, like when I first broke into the business, I was like around 145, 150 pounds, and I was scrawnier than hell. And, you know, just keep doing it. If this is something you want to do, you can do it.
All right. Well, folks, stay tuned. RockstarJuniorX.com. It'll always be updated from here going forward. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, guys.